What if every no was secretly a yes to something greater? Picture this. You've poured your heart into a dream, a job application, a relationship, a passion project, and then, bam, a cold, hard no. It stings, doesn't it? Like a door slammed shut in your face. But what if that closed door was the universe nudging you toward a path you were meant to walk? What if rejection wasn't the end of your story, but the beginning of your greatest chapter yet? Today, we're not just talking about surviving rejection. We're talking about thriving because of it. Inspired by the timeless wisdom of Stoic philosophers like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus, we're diving deep into how rejection can become your superpower. It's not a curse, it's a catalyst. The fire that forges your strength, your resilience, your unbreakable self-worth. In this video, we're unpacking 13 powerful lessons to transform rejection into fuel for success. These aren't fluffy platitudes. These are battle-tested strategies you can apply today to flip the script on rejection and make it your greatest ally. From mastering your emotions to building a life so magnetic that rejection becomes irrelevant, we're covering it all. But here's the catch. This isn't just a video. It's a roadmap to rewrite your relationship with rejection. By the end, you'll see every no as a hidden opportunity, every closed door as a detour to something extraordinary. So, are you ready to stop fearing rejection and start using it? Before we dive in, hit that like button. Ring the notification bell. It tells YouTube you're vibing with this wisdom, and it helps more people discover this life-changing perspective. And stick around to the end. I've got a special bonus tip that'll tie this all together and leave you unstoppable. Ready? Let's go. Chapter 1. Ignore them. And rise above what if ignoring rejection was your secret weapon. Let's start with a truth bomb. When someone ignores you, it's not about your worth. It's about their priorities. And here's the kicker. You don't need to chase their approval to shine. Ignoring those who ignore you isn't petty. It's a bold declaration of your self-worth. Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. When someone brushes you off, it's tempting to feel small, to question your value. But Stoicism teaches us to flip that script. Instead of shrinking, rise. Ignore their indifference and focus on what you can control. Your actions, your growth, your happiness. Think about it. A colleague overlooks your idea in a meeting. A friend stops texting back. A potential employer ghosts you. It hurts, right? Your first instinct might be to double down, to prove yourself, to win them over. But what if there's a better move? Here's the strategy. Reclaim your energy. Shift your focus to where it's valued. Invest in yourself. Pick up a new skill. Dive into a passion project. Surround yourself with people who see you. Here's how to do it. Refocus your time. Spend an hour a day on something that makes you better. Read a chapter of Meditations by Marcus Aurelius. Try a free online course. Hit the gym. Small steps, big impact. Curate your circle. Seek out people who uplift you. If someone's ignoring you, they're not your tribe. Find those who celebrate your wins and challenge you to grow. Celebrate small wins. Finished a workout? Nailed a presentation? Pat yourself on the back. These micro-victories build a fortress of self-respect that no one's indifference can breach. Imagine this. You pitch an idea at work, and your boss barely acknowledges it. Ouch. Instead of stewing, you take that energy and start a side project. Maybe a blog, a podcast, or a new skill like coding. Months later, your project's thriving. And your boss. They're asking you for advice. Their silence, it pushed you to shine brighter. Why does this work? Because ignoring those who ignore you isn't just about protecting your peace. It's about sending a signal to the world and to yourself that your worth doesn't hinge on external validation. You're building a life so fulfilling that their silence becomes irrelevant. But what happens when ignoring them isn't enough? What if the sting of rejection still creeps in? Don't worry. Our next chapter is about mastering your emotions. So rejection doesn't just bounce off you, it fuels you. Stay with me, because this one's a game changer. Chapter 2. Don't react emotionally. What if you could face rejection without flinching? Rejection hurts. It's like a punch to the gut. You want to lash out, retreat, or drown in self-doubt. But what if you could face that pain with the calm of a Stoic sage? Seneca said, "You have to accept whatever comes, and the only important thing is that you meet it with courage and with the best that you have to give." This is where emotional mastery comes in. When rejection hits, your brain might scream, "Fix this, prove them wrong, cry it out." But reacting emotionally hands your power to the person who rejected you. Instead, channel Stoic wisdom and pause. Here's the strategy. Stay calm, stay in control. Don't let rejection drive the bus. You do. Here's how. Breathe and reflect. Feel the sting? Take 5 deep breaths. Ask yourself, why does this hurt? Often, it's not the rejection itself, but your own insecurities or expectations. Naming the feeling reduces its grip. Reframe the story. Instead of, "They rejected me because I'm not good enough," try, "Their decision reflects their priorities, not my value." This shift detaches your worth from their actions. Respond, don't react. Need to address the rejection? Say, in a professional context, do it with clarity and kindness. If a boss overlooks your idea, calmly pitch it again in a new way. Show confidence. Without desperation. Picture this. You apply for your dream job. You prep for weeks. Tailor your resume. Nail the interview. And then, a form rejection email lands in your inbox. Your heart sinks. Instead of spiraling into, "I'm a failure," take a walk. Journal your thoughts. List 3 things you did well in the process. Maybe your resume was sharp. Your answers were thoughtful. Then, apply for another role. Each no is a step closer to a yes. Why does this work? Emotional control isn't about suppressing feelings. It's about choosing how to channel them. By staying calm, you reclaim your power. You turn rejection into a moment of growth. You're not just surviving the no, you're thriving in it. Mastering your emotions is just the start. But what if you could take that rejection and let it guide you to new horizons? In the next chapter, we're diving into the art of detachment. How to let go of what doesn't serve you and embrace what does. You won't want to miss this. Chapter 3. Detach and let it go. What if letting go was the key to moving forward? Rejection can feel like a weight dragging you down, but what if you could cut that rope and sail forward? Epictetus said, "There is only one way to happiness, and that is to cease worrying about things which are beyond the power of our will." Detachment isn't about ignoring your pain. It's about refusing to let it define you. Think of rejection like a storm at sea. The waves might rock your boat. They might scare you, but they don't have to sink you. Detachment is about steering through the storm and finding calmer waters. Here's the strategy. Release and redirect. Acknowledge the rejection. Feel the sting. And then, choose to move on. Here's how. Acknowledge the pain. Write down how the rejection feels. Be honest. For example, "I feel unworthy because they didn't choose me." Naming the emotion helps you process it. Shift your focus. Dive into activities that light you up. Try a new hobby. Painting, coding, hiking. Volunteer for a cause. These aren't distractions. They're investments in your growth. Visualize the bigger picture. Imagine yourself a year from now, thriving. That rejection? It's just a blip on your journey. This perspective shrinks its power and opens your mind to new possibilities. Let's say a romantic partner ghosts you. It hurts. You're tempted to text them, to beg for closure. Instead, journal your feelings. Then sign up for a cooking class or join a local running group. These actions don't erase the pain, but they redirect your energy toward growth and connection. Months later, you might realize that rejection led you to a new passion or a better relationship. I remember a friend, Sarah. She was devastated when her boyfriend of 3 years stopped replying. She felt invisible, worthless. But instead of chasing him, she chose herself. She started hiking every weekend, joined a book club, and guess what? She didn't just find joy, she found herself. That rejection. It was the push she needed to rediscover her strength. And today, she's happier than ever. Why does this work? Detachment frees you from the emotional quicksand of rejection. It's not about pretending it didn't happen. It's about choosing to invest your energy in what makes you stronger. You're not running from the storm. You're steering through it. Detaching is powerful. But what if you could take it further? What if rejection wasn't just something to let go of, but something to showcase your strength? In the next chapter, we're talking about demonstrating your value in a way that silences doubters without saying a word. Keep watching. Chapter 4. Demonstrate your value. What if rejection was your chance to shine brighter? Rejection can feel like a spotlight on your flaws, but what if it's actually a stage for your greatness? Marcus Aurelius said, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." In other words, let your actions speak louder than any no. When someone overlooks you, don't shrink. Shine. We've all been there. Passed over for a promotion, ignored in a meeting, rejected for a project you knew you were perfect for. It's tempting to stew in self-pity, to feel bitter. But what if you could channel that energy into something powerful? Here's the strategy. Let your work speak. Instead of pleading for validation, show the world what you're made of. Rejection is your cue to double down on your strengths and let your results do the talking. Here's how. Take initiative. Passed over for a promotion. Volunteer for a high-impact project. Show your skills through action, not complaints. Polish your craft. Use the rejection as motivation to improve. If a client rejects your pitch, refine it. Take a course, get feedback, come back stronger. Stay consistent. Small daily actions add up. Write 500 words a day toward your novel. Practice your instrument for 20 minutes daily. Consistency turns potential into proof. Imagine you pitch an idea at work. Your boss dismisses it. Ouch. Instead of sulking, refine the idea. Gather data to support it. Present it again. Or better yet, implement it on a small scale to show results. Your boss might not say it, but they'll notice. And even if they don't, you've grown. And that's what matters. Let me tell you about James. He applied to a top-tier design firm, spent weeks on his portfolio, poured his heart into the interview, and they rejected him. Said he lacked experience. Did he give up? Number. He started freelancing, took online courses, built a portfolio that blew everyone away. 2 years later, that same firm, they hired him. His rejection wasn't a dead end. It was a detour to greatness. Why does this work? Demonstrating your value isn't about proving others wrong. It's about proving yourself right. Every action you take builds confidence and skills, making you less dependent on external approval. Rejection becomes a spark that ignites your potential. Showing your value is empowering. But what if you could take it to the next level? What if silence, yes, silence, could be your most powerful response to rejection. In the next chapter, we're unlocking the strength of saying nothing at all. You're not gonna believe how transformative this is. Chapter 5. Cut off contact. The power of silence. What if silence was louder than any comeback? When rejection hits, your instinct might be to fight back, to explain yourself, to beg for a second chance. But what if the most powerful response was no response at all? Seneca said, "It is a great thing to know how to be silent." Silence isn't weakness, it's mastery. It's the ultimate power move. Think about it. Someone ignores your texts, turns down your offer, brushes you off. Your heart says, "Fix this, reach out, convince them." But here's the twist. Silence can be your greatest ally. Here's the strategy. Embrace the pause. Silence doesn't mean sulking or ghosting. It means choosing not to engage with those who don't value you. It's about protecting your peace and redirecting your energy. Here's how. Stop chasing. If someone ignores your texts, emails, or efforts, don't keep reaching out. Let them come to you, or let them go. This sets a boundary that says, I respect myself. Reflect, don't react. Use the silence to process. Journal your thoughts. Meditate. Talk to a trusted friend. What's this rejection teaching you? Invest elsewhere. Channel your energy into your goals. Start that side hustle. Join a community group. Dive into a creative project. Silence toward the rejecter opens space for growth elsewhere. Suppose a friend repeatedly cancels plans or brushes you off. It stings. Instead of confronting them or begging for their time, go quiet. Focus on other friendships. Explore new social circles. Months later, they might reach out, curious about your absence, or you'll realize you're happier without them. I knew someone, Maya, who was ghosted by a close friend. She was crushed, kept texting, calling, hoping for an explanation. Then, she stopped. She joined a photography club, started posting her work online, found a new crew who loved her creativity. That silence, it wasn't just healing, it was liberating. She didn't need her old friend's approval. She had herself. Why does this work? Silence is magnetic. It shows you're unshaken, confident, focused on your own path. It also creates space for reflection and growth, turning rejection into an opportunity to rebuild stronger. Silence is powerful. But what if you could turn rejection into a challenge to exceed expectations? In the next chapter, we're diving into how to prove them wrong, not for their sake, but for yours. This one's gonna fire you up. Stay tuned. Chapter 6. Prove them wrong. What if rejection was your fuel to surpass your limits? When someone doubts you, it's easy to feel defeated. But what if their doubt was the spark you needed to ignite your potential? Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Rejection isn't a stop sign. It's a challenge to prove yourself. To yourself. We've all heard it. You're not ready. You're not creative enough. You don't have what it takes. Those words cut deep, but they don't have to define you. They can drive you. Here's the strategy. Turn doubt into drive. Instead of seeking their approval, use their doubt as motivation to exceed your own expectations. Here's how. Set a bold goal. Someone says you're not creative. Start a project that showcases your originality. A blog, a podcast, a painting. Make it about your growth, not their opinion. Track your progress. Break your goal into small steps. Celebrate each one. Learning a skill. Log your daily practice. Seeing progress fuels motivation. Stay disciplined. Rejection can tempt you to give up. Commit to showing up every day, even when it's hard. Discipline turns dreams into reality. Imagine a teacher tells you you're not cut out for writing. It stings. Instead of believing them, start a blog. Write one post a week. Refine your style. Study great writers. A year later, you might have a loyal audience, or at least a portfolio you're proud of. Their doubt? It was the push you needed. Let me share a story about Alex. He was told he'd never make it as a musician. Too average, they said. Did he quit? No. He practiced every night, posted covers online, booked small gigs. Today, he's touring with a band. And those naysayers? They're buying his tickets. His rejection wasn't a verdict. It was a catalyst. Why does this work? Proving them wrong isn't about ego. It's about self-discovery. Every step you take toward your goal builds skills, confidence, and resilience. You're not just silencing doubters. You're rewriting your story. Proving them wrong feels amazing. But what if you could make rejection irrelevant by living your best life? In the next chapter, we're talking about seeking joy and fun to transform how you experience rejection. This one's all about rediscovering your spark. Don't miss it. Chapter 7. Have fun. Seek joy. What if joy was the ultimate antidote to rejection? Rejection can make life feel heavy, but what if you could counter that weight with lightness? Marcus Aurelius said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." Seeking joy isn't about ignoring rejection. It's about refusing to let it steal your spark. When rejection hits, it's tempting to retreat, to stew in the sourness, to hide in your shell. But what if you did the opposite? What if you leaned into joy? Here's the strategy. Rediscover what lights you up. Counter rejection's gloom with experiences that make you feel alive. Here's how. Try something new. Sign up for a dance class. Explore a new hiking trail. Cook a recipe you've never tried. Novelty rewires your brain for positivity. Reconnect with loved ones. Spend time with people who make you laugh, who value you. A coffee date with a friend can do wonders for your perspective. Celebrate the small stuff. Find joy in everyday moments. A sunny day, a great song, a cozy movie night. These micro-joys build resilience. Let's say you're rejected from a grad school program. It hurts. Instead of wallowing, plan a weekend getaway with friends, or start a fun project like learning guitar. These moments of joy remind you. Life is bigger than one no. You might even find new inspiration for your next application. I remember my cousin, Priya. She was turned down for a dream job, felt like her world collapsed. But instead of spiraling, she signed up for a pottery class. Just for fun. She wasn't great at it, but she laughed, made new friends, found her smile again. That joy, it gave her the courage to apply again. And guess what? She got an even better job. Why does this work? Joy is a rebellion against rejection's gloom. It shifts your focus from what you've lost to what you can gain by filling your life with positive experiences. Rejection feels like a minor detour, not a dead end. Seeking joy is transformative. But what if you could build a life so magnetic that rejection can't touch you? In the next chapter, we're diving into how to boost your social status. Not for clout, but for confidence. This one's gonna change how you see yourself. Keep watching. Chapter 8. Build your social status. What if rejection was a sign to level up your life? Rejection often feels like a judgment on your worth. But what if it's a nudge to build a life so compelling that others can't help but notice? Seneca said, "Associate with people who are likely to improve you." Building your social status isn't about chasing popularity. It's about creating a life of purpose, connection, and impact. When someone rejects you, it's easy to feel invisible, like you don't matter. But that's your cue to flip the script, to build a life that radiates value. Here's the strategy. Craft a life of value. Your social status is the sum of your actions, relationships, and contributions. Here's how. Invest in relationships. Nurture connections with people who inspire and challenge you. Attend networking events, join clubs, volunteer. Quality relationships boost your confidence and influence. Build your brand. Share your passions online or in your community. Start a blog. Post about your projects. Speak at local events. Authenticity attracts like-minded people. Give back. Contribute to others. Mentor someone. Help a colleague. Support a cause. Generosity builds respect and strengthens your network. Suppose you're overlooked for a leadership role at work. It stings. Instead of feeling defeated, join a professional group in your industry. Share insights on LinkedIn. Offer to mentor a junior colleague. Over time, your reputation grows, and new opportunities find you. Take my friend, Rahul. He was passed over for a big promotion. Felt like a slap in the face, but he didn't sulk. He started a podcast about his industry, interviewed experts, shared tips. Within a year, he was invited to speak at conferences. His status skyrocketed. That rejection? It was the spark that lit his fire. Why does this work? Building your social status creates a feedback loop of confidence and opportunity. When you live with purpose and surround yourself with uplifting people, rejection loses its sting. You're too busy thriving to care. A strong social status is a game changer. But what if you could stop taking rejection personally altogether? In the next chapter, we're unlocking the secret to seeing rejection for what it really is. A moment, not a verdict. This one's gonna set you free. Don't go anywhere. Chapter 9. Don't take it personally. What if rejection wasn't about you at all? One of the hardest parts of rejection is feeling like it's a personal attack. But here's a liberating truth. Most of the time, rejection isn't about you. It's about them. Epictetus said, "People are disturbed not by things, but by the views they take of them." When you stop taking rejection personally, you unlock a new level of freedom. Think about it. You pitch a project. They say no. You ask someone out. They decline. Your brain screams, "I'm not good enough." But what if their decision has nothing to do with your worth? Here's the strategy. Reframe their decision. Rejection often reflects someone else's priorities, biases, or circumstances, not your value. Here's how. Ask the right questions. Instead of, "Why am I not good enough?" ask, "What factors influenced their decision?" Maybe they had a budget issue, a different vision, personal stress, separate self from outcome. Your value isn't tied to one no. List 3 things you're proud of about yourself. Your kindness, your work ethic, your creativity. These are constant, regardless of rejection. Learn and move on. If there's feedback in the rejection, use it to grow. If not, let it go. Their opinion is just one data point, not the whole story. Imagine you pitch a business idea to investors. They pass. It feels personal. Instead of thinking, "I failed," consider their perspective. Maybe they prioritize safer bets or have limited funds. Refine your pitch. Seek other investors. Keep building. Their no isn't your identity. I'll never forget my friend Lisa. She auditioned for a theater role, gave it her all. They rejected her, said she wasn't right for the part. She was crushed. But then she realized it wasn't about her talent. They wanted a different look, a different vibe. She kept auditioning, landed a better role. That rejection, it was just a moment, not her story. Why does this work? Detaching your worth from others' decisions frees you from the emotional roller coaster of rejection. You start seeing it as a moment in time, not a definition of who you are. This mindset makes you unstoppable. Not taking it personally is liberating. But what if you could go further and stop fearing rejection altogether? In the next chapter, we're tackling how to embrace rejection as a natural part of growth. This one's gonna change how you approach risk forever. Stay with me. Chapter 10. Don't fear future rejection. What if rejection was just a stepping stone to success? The fear of rejection can paralyze you, stop you from taking risks, chasing dreams. But what if you saw rejection as a sign you're trying? A badge of courage? Marcus Aurelius said, "What need is there to weep over parts of life? The whole of it calls for tears." Rejection is part of the human experience, not a personal failure. We've all felt it. That knot in your stomach before asking for a raise, pitching an idea, sharing your art. The fear of hearing no can be worse than the rejection itself. But what if you could flip that fear into fuel? Here's the strategy. Reframe rejection as progress. Stop seeing no as a dead end. See it as proof you're in the game. Here's how. Expect it. Rejection is inevitable. The more you try, the more no's you'll hear. And that's a good thing. Each no means you're taking chances. Celebrate the attempt. Reward yourself for taking risks, regardless of the outcome. Applied for a job, pitched an idea, treat yourself to coffee or a movie. The act of trying is a win. Learn from each no. Every rejection carries a lesson. Did you miss a key skill? Could your approach be sharper? Use these insights to improve. Suppose you're hesitant to ask for a raise, fear being turned down. Reframe it. Asking is a win because it shows confidence. Prepare your case. Practice your pitch. Go for it. If they say no, you've gained experience and clarity on what to improve. Let me tell you about Sam. He was terrified of public speaking, avoided it for years, but he wanted to share his ideas. So he pitched a talk at a local event. Got rejected. Did he stop? Number. He joined a Toastmasters club, practiced weekly, pitched again, got accepted. Today, he's a keynote speaker. His fear of rejection? It was the spark that lit his career. Why does this work? When you stop fearing rejection, you start taking bold action. Each no becomes a stepping stone, not a roadblock. You're not avoiding failure. You're embracing growth. Embracing rejection is powerful. But what if you could turn it into a tool for reinvention? In the next chapter, we're exploring how to use rejection to redefine your goals and dreams. This one's gonna inspire you to dream bigger. Don't miss it. Chapter 11. Use rejection to reinvent yourself. What if rejection was your invitation to become unstoppable? Rejection can feel like a dead end. But what if it's a crossroads, a chance to pivot, grow, and become a better version of yourself? Seneca said, "Difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body." Every no is an opportunity to reassess, realign, and reinvent. We've all been there. A dream job says no. A relationship ends. A project flops. It feels like the end. But what if it's the beginning of something extraordinary? Here's the strategy. Pivot with purpose. Use rejection as a signal to evaluate your path and make bold changes. Here's how. Reflect on your goals. Does this rejection align with your true passions? Maybe a no from a job you didn't love is a nudge toward a career that lights you up. Identify new opportunities. Look for doors that are opening. If one path closes, explore adjacent ones. New industries, skills, networks. Commit to growth. Take one actionable step toward reinvention. Enroll in a course. Start a side project. Seek a mentor. Small steps lead to big transformations. Imagine you're rejected from a competitive art program. It hurts. Instead of giving up, reflect. Is this the only way to pursue your passion? Start a YouTube channel to share your art. Join a local art collective. Freelance for clients. The rejection pushes you to find a new, fulfilling path. I knew an artist, Emma. She applied to a prestigious gallery. Got rejected. Felt like her dream was dead. But she didn't stop. She started selling her work online. Built a following. Today, her art's in galleries worldwide. That rejection? It wasn't a no to her talent. It was a yes to a bigger stage. Why does this work? Reinvention turns rejection into a creative challenge. Instead of feeling stuck, you're energized to explore new possibilities. You're not just recovering from a no. You're building a life that's uniquely yours. Reinventing yourself is exhilarating. But what if you could make rejection a source of strength for others? In the next chapter, we're diving into how to inspire those around you by thriving through rejection. This one's gonna make you a role model. Keep watching. Chapter 12. Inspire others by thriving. What if your strength could light the way for others? When you turn rejection into strength, you don't just transform your life, you inspire everyone around you. Epictetus said, "We are not born for ourselves alone." By thriving through rejection, you become a beacon of resilience, showing others what's possible. Think about it. When you face a no and keep going, people notice. Your friends, your family, your colleagues. Your courage becomes their courage. Here's the strategy. Lead by example. Your journey through rejection can motivate others to face their own challenges. Here's how. Share your story. Talk about your rejections and how you overcame them. Post on social media. Write a blog. Share with friends. Vulnerability builds connection. Support others. When someone else faces rejection, offer encouragement. Share the strategies from this video, or simply listen. Your empathy makes a difference. Live your truth. Keep pursuing your goals with passion and resilience. Your actions, starting that business, chasing that dream, show others that rejection isn't the end. Suppose you're rejected from a speaking gig, but you keep practicing. Land a bigger opportunity later. Share your journey on LinkedIn. I was turned down, but I kept going, and here's what I learned. Your story might inspire a colleague to keep pitching their own ideas. Let me tell you about Maria. She was rejected from a startup accelerator, felt like her business idea was worthless, but she kept building, shared her journey on Instagram. Her grit inspired others. Today, her company's thriving, and she mentors young entrepreneurs. Her rejection? It became a gift to the world. Why does this work? Thriving through rejection creates a ripple effect. Your courage and growth inspire others to face their fears. You're not just winning, you're lifting others up. Inspiring others is the ultimate victory. But we're not done yet. In our final chapter, we're tying it all together with a mindset shift that'll make rejection your greatest ally. Plus, I promised you a bonus tip, and it's a game changer. Don't go anywhere. Chapter 13. Make rejection your ally. What if rejection was your secret mentor? We've covered a lot. Ignoring indifference, mastering emotions, seeking joy, inspiring others. But here's the final piece. Rejection isn't your enemy, it's your teacher. Marcus Aurelius said, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." When you embrace rejection as a mentor, you turn every no into a lesson, every closed door into a new path. Think about every rejection you've faced, that job you didn't get, that person who walked away, that dream that didn't pan out. What if each one was guiding you towards something better? Here's the strategy. Befriend the no. See rejection as a partner in your growth. Here's how. Adopt a growth mindset. View every rejection as feedback. What can you learn? How can you improve? This mindset turns setbacks into stepping stones. Keep a rejection journal. Write down each rejection, what it taught you, how you grew. Over time, you'll see a pattern of progress, not failure. Stay grateful. Yes, grateful. Thank the universe for redirecting you. That no might save you from a bad fit or push you towards something better. Imagine you're rejected from a book deal. It hurts. Instead of despairing, journal. This taught me to refine my proposal and research publishers better. Keep writing, keep pitching, stay grateful for the clarity. That rejection might lead to a better deal or a self-published hit. I'll share one last story. My friend, Tom. He was rejected by every major publisher for his novel. Felt like his dream was dead, but he kept writing, self-published, marketed it himself. Today, his book's a bestseller. He thanks those rejections. They taught him resilience. They made him unstoppable. Why does this work? Befriending rejection removes its power to hurt you. It becomes a guide, not a gatekeeper. You're no longer fighting rejection. You're dancing with it, using its rhythm to move forward. And here's the bonus tip I promised. Create a rejection ritual. After a no, do something empowering. Go for a run. Write a gratitude list. Blast a hype playlist. For me, I play Sweet Victory from SpongeBob and write down 3 things I'm proud of. It's a small act, but it shifts my mindset from defeat to determination. Conclusion: your rejection revolution starts now. Are you ready to rewrite your story? Rejection doesn't define you, it refines you. With these 13 lessons, you're armed to turn every no into a stepping stone, every closed door into a detour to greatness. So what's next? Start today. Pick one strategy. Maybe it's detaching from a recent rejection or seeking joy in a new hobby. Take action. Share your journey in the comments below. I'd love to hear how you're flipping the script on rejection. And if this video resonated with you, give it a like. Subscribe. Share it with someone who needs this wisdom. The world may say no, but your story says yes. To growth, to resilience, to a life that's unapologetically yours. Let's make rejection your greatest ally. I'll see you in the next video.